आपादमौलिपर्यन्तां गुरूणामाकृतिं स्मरति न विघ्नप्रणश्यन्ति सिद्धन्ति च मनोरथः लक्ष्मीतनोतु नितरामितरानपेक्षमङ्गद्वयं निगमशाकिशिखाप्रभां हैरम्बमम्बुरुहडम्बरचौर्यनिग्रं विघ्नाद्रिभेदशतधारचरन्दरन्नः सर्वेषां स्वागतं. Welcome to the Bhashya session, 23rd Bhashya session. So we were looking at the 71st shloka. That was He Jihve Mama Nisnehe Harinkin Nanu Bhashyase. So here the indication must be understood. That is, the bhavartha is a little more complicated than a normal sense. That is, Acharya here is trying to speak of the power of expression, and through that, Dvaita philosophy is such that there is importance given to the Sharira. Usually, Advaita negates that. That is because the point of it is that the separation between the Karana Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, and then Sthula Sharira, when we do that, only we are able to reach the Karana Sharira is going to reach the Brahman. So there is equivalency, there is no difference between that. That is what they are trying to prove. So therefore, sannyasa has been ordained in Advaita. But here, there is a very strict understanding that yes, there is the Brahman, there is the supreme consciousness. The supreme consciousness has given Chetana to what we call as the Atma, which has expressed its Ichha to be in a human form or some other form, and therefore has gained the Sharira of whatever that it wants to be. So, therefore, even though it is my Atma's Ichha to be a human, the Chetana, the Ashaya has been given permission by the Supreme Consciousness. Therefore, now the question is, if the Supreme Consciousness has allowed manifestation, is that manifestation for nothing? What is to be done through the Sharira? Is it just to learn to be detached from the Sharira? Is there nothing that we can do with the Sharira? That is, there are two parts, two understanding of it. The Sharira can be used either to as a means to reach the Brahman or realize the Karana Sharira, or the Stula Sharira can be, we can learn to detach from it, and then we can separate from it, and our consciousness moves to Karana Sharira, like that. So Dvaita supports the first one, and therefore there is it agrees that there is a power to expression because the Sharira is there, and therefore the Sharira is restricted to the five sensibilities. And understanding Hari through these five sensibilities is very difficult, because we've already said it has to be Atindriya. Atindriya Gochara must be, it is beyond the five. But is there no relevance to these five then? It is there. The means of reaching Atindriya is not to discard the five senses, but rather to exhaust the five senses. That is the understanding of Dvaita. So rather than negating or completely letting go of that usage, it is through diversion of this usage towards those activities that contribute towards its exhaustion. That is, rather than keeping my mind away from something, I'm increasingly thinking of that particular element so that my mind fills with that whole matter. So rather than taking up sannyasa and forcing my mind to think about the Parabrahman, using the Sharira to bring about the mind, bring about a condition where the mind is ready towards adopting the Parabrahman, the realizing the Parabrahman. That is the Dvaiti. There isn't much difference in the end. The end philosophy remains the same, but the understanding of it is different. There in Advaita, there is equivalency. Here, there is no equivalency. There is a clear distinction between the superior consciousness and the self-consciousness, the realization. So when we talk about the power of expression, the impact of it is more coming from a Dvaita philosophy, which is saying that, hey Jihve, mama nisnehe, are you my enemy? Because the mind is separate from the Sukshma Sharira is separate from the Stula Sharira. Now, technically speaking, the Sukshma Sharira can control the Stula Sharira. Voluntary and involuntary movements are there. But despite my mind agreeing that Hari Sankirtana, Hari Nama Puja, etc., is what I must do, I'm not able to do it. Understanding this is easier if we use our daily routines. Like, I want to get up early in the morning, but my Sharira is not allowing me to get up because it is cold or because I feel tired or etc. Chetana is not getting tired. Atma never gets tired. But why do I feel tired? Because my Sharira is feeling tired. So therefore, Sharira is not helping or is not cooperating in getting up. So here the same thing is being derived over here, that I understand, my mind understands that I need to do Harinama Sankirtana. I need to worship Hari. I need to do puja. I need to do all those things for realization, which is the aim. But it is not happening. Why? Now, therefore, the separation occurs. So the mind is asking the body. Sukshma Sharira is asking the Stula Sharira. So the Jihva represents the entirety of Stula Sharira, saying that, are you my enemy? You are not my enemy. Jihva nisnehe. You are acting as though you are my enemy or you are not my friend. But the fact is, you are here. Kalyani has been described. The word Kalyani describes the power of speech, because that is the manifestation. That is the first manifestation that we humans can do. If I'm building something, it takes time. Elements have to be put together. Plan has to be made. One thing that manifests immediately from humans is speech. And if we look at it from the entirety of creation, humans are not the only ones who build home. Animals have also built it. Humans are not the only people who have used their brains to, build contraptions or traps or etc. Animals have actually done it. There are traps that certain animals build. Nature himself has given them certain qualities which they can use to trap animals. The biggest example is the spider, which builds a web. So what is that humans have created entirely on their own, which is exclusive? No other animal or creature can copy it. It is a bhasha. It is speech, because the bhasha that I have designed is entirely guarded and guided by the rules that I have made. So the power of expression is the first manifestation, the power that we have as humans. And through that, when I say Hari, I'm thinking about Hari, Hari, Hari. Yes, I'm thinking in my mind. But when it expresses through word, it has the power to resonate into every other mind. If I keep saying, let's say I'm listening to some chanting, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. I keep listening to it. I'm listening to it, and I'm doing some other work, but my mind, when it reaches out, when it resonates with that frequency of that chanting, my mind starts to recite it. So my power of expression of chanting, when I chant, I'm able to make others also think of chanting. So that is the reason human mind is saying, I need your help. You are the one who can realize this for me. That Sakshatkara. And that is the reason you are Kalyani. You are somebody who can do good for me. So you are not my enemy. You are not Nisnehi, but you are not listening to me. So therefore, He say, at least listen to me and then chant Hari's name. So why should I do that? Because samsara udadhi nauhi harihi. Samsara, as we know, is the manifested world. Udadhi is the nadi or river, water body, flowing water body. So it is going on, the world is going on, samsara is shifting. But in that, I need to travel, in that, I need to uh, make my way. For me to make my way in that river is through a nauka, nauhi, and that is Hari. And therefore you should do that. You are oh auspicious one, Jihwa, please do this task of chanting Hari's name or doing Hari Puja, taking his name. That is the meaning. And therefore, it we bring to that particular, again, samsara. When we are talking about samsara, why this samsara is important for us? Because we are living in it. We have manifested. To say that this is complete, one of the biggest fights between the Dvaiti argument and the Advaiti argument is that the Dvaitis or Sriman Madhva has strictly spoken against or argued against the Mayavada of Advaita. Therefore, it says the manifested world, it is not that it is untrue. It is not an illusion. It is a reality. Except the reality, what is the essence? What is the purpose of that reality? It has no purpose if I take Hari out of it. Because we are saying that, okay, uh, let's take an example of bread. So the dough is needed, okay, and we have added all the yeast or whatever is required for that we have added. But if I don't give it the favorable temperature, the sthiti, it will not rise. And we know that Narayana or Hari is that state where manifestation has taken place, that Srishti has occurred. So now, when I do not think about that particular state where everything is getting realized, I will not be able to realize my own thoughts, that intention. So, that Sara, what is the Sara? What is the truth of this manifestation? I will only understand by understanding Hari. Therefore, Asare Khalu Samsare, Samsara without Hari has no Sara. So, but if I understand him, then what happens? I will be able to move through this particular samsara with meaning or with purpose or with that special tool, with understanding. So, samsarat sarataro harihi. Punyahina na vindanti sarangascha yatha jalam. So, this we have heard. Now, despite understanding the logic behind it, despite understanding why we are doing it, if we don't do it, then we are like the Saranga or the Jataka Pakshi who understand that their quench can be thirst, the thirst can be quenched by drinking water, but they don't do it. So, that is the meaning of that. And the next one, the 73rd sloka, is from Narada Purana, the second skanda, 7th adhyaya, and the fourth sloka, which says that it doesn't matter whether it is Kurukshetra, whether it is Kashi, whether it is Pushkara, the punya of going to these Tirtha Kshetras for a person who has been with a pure mind, with all his heart, who has been doing Hari Puja, Hari Sankirtana, some Smarane, all that, the person is in that state of mind where it doesn't bother him. It doesn't bother him whether he is going to succeed, whether he is going to face obstacles, whether he is going to fail. Because regardless of which he has learned, because one of the biggest teachings of Sri Krishna is this, that you just focus on the karma, not on the outcome. And therefore, the one who understands this Haritat, one who understands the philosophy of karma, and who understands why Krishna is saying all these things, he will do his action regardless of being in Kurukshetra or in Kashi or in Pushkara. He will do his karmas. And what punya comes out of it will never bother him. What punya, papa, whatever it may be, whatever is the phala of it, that will never bother him. So the thought over here, we have understood where importance is given to that expression and why we are personifying or representing the whole Sharira, Manava Sharira, or we are talking about the Stula Sharira, is going represented through that one expression that we find is the predominant in humans. And through that, what we are seeing that we have to do Hari Sankirtana. There is in recent times, there has been many such comments on the social media and etc., where patriotic sentiments, like there was a incident where after the government had mandated playing the national anthem before any film, there were many such questions, ki, why do we have to stand? And there were many incidents also where some people were not standing when the national anthem was being played. See, everybody is a patriot. This is a general statement. Now let us look at the different actions that we do. We are living for our livelihood. We are doing actions for our livelihood. We are doing karma for our livelihood. So it shows our struggle towards building a life, but we are not doing anything with the intention, or we are not doing anything voluntarily with design towards the country. We are ultimately contributing to its GDP. Nobody is arguing over that, but we are not doing it with the intention. What we are doing our work, whether we are doing it efficiently, inefficiently, etc. We are doing it so that we can cultivate a livelihood. So it is for our sake. Now let us look at the different category. One with the purpose and the karma. We have the karma that is implied by implication is contributing, but we don't have the motive. But one with the purpose and the karma. Let us take, for example, the soldiers. Why do we put them at a pedestal? Why do we have to give them a higher stage in the society? Because they have both the purpose, the intention, the motivation to contribute to the motherland, as well as the karma is supporting it. But for us, we are only contributing, and that too not with intention. So it is like, let us say, for example, I went to the temple. I saw people begging over there, and at some point of time, I felt guilty about something. So I thought, okay, let me just give them alms, and I gave them, and I came back. Can we expect the punya of donating dana from that? We cannot expect it. Why? Because I am doing it to get rid of guilty conscience from my mind. So we cannot expect the punya of that to help us at any point of time. So nishkama karma means that we should not have expectation towards it. So right, if I may be contributing because I'm earning. I'm not earning to contribute to the country's GDP, but I'm earning to support myself. So that does not become an action of patriotic sentiment. So now the question is, for all of us who are living in the society, how do I show that I'm doing something to show the society, or to show the country, the whole system at large, that yes, I support them, that yes, I stand with the sentiment, I stand with that, all the sentiments, all the values that this nation stands for, that we are all one, that we all have the responsibility to uphold the integrity, etc., etc., whatever the constitution says, or whatever is the spiritual base of this country. Because India is not just geographic borders, it is, we have seen so many NRIs who stay away from this country yet still believe that they are Indians. So why why do we have to show our expression of patriotism? Because that is how it echoes in society. I stand, somebody else stand, Maybe that person was not interested in it, but I stood up, somebody else stood up, we all stood up. The value to the national anthem increases because we are all standing. I do not deprecate myself, but within the society, the value of that symbolism, the emotion of us being all belonging to one nation, that increases. So, therefore, the power of expression within human society is extremely high because we listen to each other. Some neighbor might be having some trouble. He's talking on the phone loudly at some point of time. I do get disturbed. I mean, I'm not worried about him, but I am getting disturbed. No? So, to ask such questions, ke, why should I stand up for the national anthem? To ask that question, that why should I salute the national flag? Why some people went on to an extent where they started burning the national flag. It is not a question of somebody, some soldier being a martyr who died for our motherland. No, it is our values. Inside a home, we have our places. In a kitchen, we do not wear our footwear. Maybe within the house, we usually wear it, but we don't wear the footwear within and go into the kitchen. Why don't we wear it? Some people may argue that okay, it may bring in dust particles. Okay, we will take care that such things don't happen. We will keep a separate footwear for to walk inside the house. Then can I go into the kitchen with my footwear? It is not a question of whether we can't do it. It is a question of whether we should do it. So when I cross that rule and then go into the kitchen, it is not affecting me on a physical level. It is affecting me on a psychological level because the value to the sanctity of a kitchen comes from my thought associated with it. So therefore, as soon as my home being my temple, I say okay, as soon as I come from outside anywhere, I come to my home after a long day's work, I'm going to wash my feet, I'm going to wash my hands and then walk in because I want the aura around me, I want the value that I have associated with my house to stay intact. So in the same way, the value that I'm giving to these symbols, they may not have any special powers on their own, but the value that I'm giving to my national flag, to the national anthem, that will increase when I follow the rules because everybody is doing it. So I do it and then somebody else do it, somebody is agreeing with me. So that amplifies the value. That is the power of expression. I'm thinking, I'm doing chanting, and then somebody else is doing the chanting. That is satsanga. It amplifies our mental stability, it increases our mental state of awareness, and it makes my mind more compliable. I don't restrict, I don't go against the thought. I'm going within that whole flow. Everybody is doing it. Therefore, my mind has also agreed to be a part of it because it is happy that there is agreement. So I'm able to repeat that Sankirtana, Harinama Sankirtana. Somebody else is doing it. Okay, I'll also start doing it. Or I'm doing it. Somebody else started to do it with me because they heard me. Involuntarily, they also started. My energy, my mind has realized that I have created something. I have created a movement, and therefore it gives me more energy to push with my movement. That is the power of expression. And therefore, in this whole bit of three shlokas, Acharya is trying to explain how the Sharira can actually be an advantage because it can help us in creating satsanga. That is the essence of these three shlokas. Astu. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः प्रतिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहिषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यो शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि।